All right. It's that time again. Late night crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. Ready to end my day with crypto knowledge and information. Hope your weekend, well, I'm about to say weekend. Today's Monday, right? Getting my days a little bit confused. Today is Monday. Hope you had a good Monday. I spent the day in the swimming pool. It was hot, 104 degrees out here today. Let's see who do we have on the line. We've got SRM, Mr. Regalis, Mr. Ron Ross, Mr. Barry, Angela Payne, Shauna, Lashana, Cy Smith. Yeah, that's my little cousin. Dior, how old is she? 8? I think she's 8 years old. Taught her how to swim. What's going on? Benita. John. Told you my family is mostly freaking women. The girls dominate. They're taking over. What's going on, Rick Francis? As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed decision on which direction you want to go in. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment. And rule number 4, stay focused on whatever it is that you're doing. Now, that's not going to guarantee you success, but it will minimize your risk, and that's the most that we can ask for. So let's go ahead and get started with some news for tonight. This is my 3rd Facebook Live today. I thought we had a good one this morning. And let's see, this afternoon, I did a special Facebook Live where we were talking about women in the crypto space. Where are the women at? And what you can do as a woman to be able to position yourselves to make 6 figures a year in crypto. So if you missed that Facebook Live, you can go on my page and scroll down and you'll see it from earlier. I thought that was a good one, good information. And tonight, a couple of things we're going to cover here. Let's see. First one up, mainstream media and its love-hate affair with Bitcoin. And it's not just Bitcoin. They did the same exact thing for internet, when the internet first came out. And anytime there's any new technology. That's great, John. You spent the day with your daughter. Awesome. On a Monday at that. That's what I'm talking about. Make every day a Saturday. Okay. Mainstream media loves Bitcoin. It is the Donald Trump of money. Certain to generate guaranteed clicks with minimum effort. As cryptocurrency has risen over the past 18 months, so has its profile in MSM publications. And MSM means mainstream media. But don't mistake this prolific coverage for affection. Mainstream media has always hated, feared, and misunderstood Bitcoin. BTC might have made it to the front pages, but the reporting of it remains as dumb as ever. I agree. I read the newspaper avidly. It is one of my form of continuous fiction, riffed Nye Bevan, British health minister from the 1940s. The world has evolved immeasurably since the Welsh politician's day, yet in other aspects little has changed. Many mainstream media outlets, despite have migrated to the web in the so-called information age, still struggle to get their basic information right. Bitcoin is a perfect example of the failure from many quarters to grasp a transformative technology and understand what makes it tick. Mainstream media, with a few notable exceptions. Oh, I just got distracted. I see Brandy Carter on. I have not heard that name or seen that name in a long time. What's going on, Brandy? Known her since high school and college. So anyways, mainstream media, with a few notable exceptions, has been wrong about Bitcoin since day one, and almost a decade on, continues to be laughably, glaringly wrong. Only, it's not so funny when you remember that the majority of the population still forms their opinions from the fodder that outlets such as CNBC, Fox, Forbes, and Bloomberg feed them in the US, and the Sun, Express, and Daily Mail in the UK. For those outlets, or for those outside of the crypto cocoon that avid Bitcoiners inhabit, facts are thin on the ground while fake news and FUD abound, as the following case studies show. Well, thank you, Melanie. That is my little cousin. We had a pool party yesterday celebrating. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. Well, last week. And my aunt's birthday was yesterday. So the whole family wanted to celebrate both of our birthdays on the same day. And that is my little baby cousin, Dior. All right, I'll post up, the next Facebook Live I'll do tomorrow is a picture of her sister, and my youngest son together. The little three amigos. All right, as a tech publication, you'd expect Wired to have latched onto Bitcoin from the outset. And it did, sort of, by writing the nascent cryptocurrency off countless times over. 7 years later, one might have... Wait. Let me actually read the quotes because these matter. November 23rd, 2011. Wired follows the story of Bitcoin, the virtual currency you can actually spend, if it doesn't get stolen first. Really? Did you have to throw that line in there? That was back in 2011. Wired again. Expired for 2012. December 24th, 2012. At the height of its popularity, Bitcoin was trumpeted as a viable alternative currency for the internet age, a monetary system engineered to prevent theft in gaming. That was at 2012. They said at the height of its popularity. How many of you even heard of Bitcoin back in 2012? I wish I did. I wish I did take advantage of it. 7 years later, one might hope Wired would have gotten with the program and made a mids. But what do you know? This was only a week ago from Wired. Someone found a use for Bitcoin. Russian hackers. You guys remember that story that came out last week? The 12 indicted Russians it's proven they tampered with the presidential elections of 2016. Guess what they used to finance themselves? Bitcoin. And of course, the media is going to jump all over that as if fraud and money manipulation and all criminal activity is done by Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. Now, as Bitcoin.com observed, it's possible that Wired is still salty over having mined 13 Bitcoin back in the day, and then wait, they did what? Wired themselves mined 13 Bitcoin back in the day, and then destroyed the key to the wallet for reasons that no one will ever understand? What kind of dumbass thing is that? Calm down, Brandon. Let me not start cursing here. For all its snark and sins, however, Wired is by no means the worst culprit when it comes to inaccurate MSM reporting. Picking out inaccuracies in British media coverage of Bitcoin could be a parlor game. The Express, a once proud but now dying newspaper, takes the biscuit for the most fails that can be squeezed into a single report. In addition to claiming the price of one Ripple to be $45 instead of 45 cents. A story from last week includes such zingers as Bitcoin has slipped nearly $100 this morning from yesterday's high of $7,531. However, I forgot to charge my phone. Let me plug this thing in. Me and my phone, it's time for a new one. I've got Galaxy S8 it's acting up on me. All right. Let's see, where did I leave off at? Okay, however, a leading Bitcoin believer has claimed that another big fall is now likely, before concluding its report by stating Bitcoin has turned losses into gains and is currently up $1.07 on the day so far. Really? $1.07? Oh, and for you, all of you ladies, I have to apologize. I did not take into account that today was Monday. For some reason in my head, I kept thinking it was Sunday. So I did the afternoon Facebook Live about where are the women at in Bitcoin and crypto, and what you can do as a woman. Steps you can take right now to be earning 6 figures a year. And I did it in the afternoon. What was it, about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 o'clock my time. And a lot of people are still at work, so I apologize. Yeah, if I remembered it was Monday, I would have done it like at 7 or 8 o'clock p.m. for everybody. But it is recorded, so you don't have to miss it all. Okay. Let's get back to this. ICO formula recently picked up on the Sun's execrable Bitcoin reporting, noting, one of the most astonishing things about the cryptocurrency and blockchain sectors is there is no shortage of critics prepared to dismiss any and all benefits of the technology, whilst at the same time admitting or proving through their statements they have no idea what they're talking about. I agree with that. It continued, the mainstream press is not much better, with many just not even bothering to check the price of Bitcoin before writing and publishing an article. We pointed out to the UK paper The Sun earlier this month when they published 2 articles by 2 different journalists on the same day, quoting a single Bitcoin is worth £12,000 today and transactions are made without middlemen, so there are no transaction fees and no need to give your real name. So although the articles were edited after being pointed out, but still full of holes. There is no recourse for such bad reporting. If the stock price of Microsoft or Apple were reported at more than double its current value, or the USD to GBP exchange rate was published at twice the level it should be, there would be hell to pay. Sadly, the cryptocurrency markets are yet to command the level of respect the traditional fiat world has come to rely upon. That's true. That's why it's so important right now that you undergo your own education. You know what's going on. You cannot trust the media to give you the facts correctly. They have an agenda, and that's all of the media. They have an agenda. Like most conservative publications that are deeply entrenched with Wall Street, the Financial Times has been suspicious of Bitcoin from the outset. November 28, 2013. Before Bitcoin, there was e-gold. In 1999, the Financial Times called it the only electronic currency that has achieved critical mass on the web, but Bitcoin needs to learn from past e-currency failures. That was November 28th. April 3rd, 2013. Bitcoin bubble grows and grows. But while it is bankers who are most often blamed for blowing up bubbles, the rise in the Bitcoin price has taken place without any such intervention. That was 2013. December 11, 2013. Time to take Bitcoin bubble seriously. The moment has come to take Bitcoin seriously. This month has seen notes on the online currency from mainstream foreign exchange analysts as Wall Street. Yet it's still here. Halfway through 2018. It eventually got on board, recognizing belatedly that it had better start taking this digital asset class seriously since everyone else was. Leading its crypto coverage since the FT decided to buck up its act has been Jemima Kelly. At times, her skepticism for ICO, bullcrap, and vaporware has been refreshing, such as her takedown of IOTA. Ever since, however, a campaign of relentless snark for all things crypto has rendered Kelly's, and by extension the Financial Times, reporting worthless. Jemima says this was when July 10th, 2018. Universities of Britain cozying up to the crypto is a bad look. Jemima, how you gonna like being on the wrong side of history and everything that you've been saying and writing is public knowledge? Yeah, well, we're not gonna forget people like you. Now, no one is opposed to calling out the scams and avarice committed within the crypto space, whose perpetrators do not represent Bitcoin and everything it stands for. But if MSM outlets are determined to fixate on the outlying scammers, they're missing the cryptocurrency revolution that's taking place under their noses, as the populace in their droves are rejecting devalued bank coins in favor of self-sovereignty and the right to transact privately. Dissing crypto because of ICO charlatans is like writing off email because of a few Nigerian 419 scams. Oh, I like that analogy. That's a good one. Mainstream media have been wrong about Bitcoin since the start, and having been forced to play catch-up, are now covering it relentlessly, but adversarially. That way, if it fails, they can crow that they were right all along, but if it prospers, they can boast that they were telling their readers about it for years. MSM loves to hate crypto. When Bitcoin takes over, never forget the names of the outlets that tried to dissuade you from getting into it. We can laugh at them now in the knowledge that one day history will follow suit. That's correct. I have a list of names. I'm not the type of person to run around saying, I told you so. But I'll let my lifestyle do the talking for me. How about that? All right, let's go on to the next article here. $46 million of Ether is locked in a pair of Ponzi dApps. So let me put this in the chat box. What's going on, Mafus? The Ethereum network has another pair of This is my father. Wait a minute. I think he is dropping off my son. Always call me in the wrong timing. All right, give me a second here. Grandparents dropping off their grandson. All right, here we go. The Ethereum network has another pair of smash hit dApps. The decentralized applications have proven to be a viral success over the past week, amassing more transactions than IDEX and accruing 7-day trading volume of 180,000 Ethereum. There's just one problem. Both dApps are Ponzi schemes, in which virtually everyone who plays will lose. The clue is in the URL. FOMO3D, which resides at exitscam.me, is an exit scam. The game is the product of Team Just, a group of developers that gets its name from a Brendan Fraser, the barber, meta meme, whose origins are too niche to explain here. Play FOMO3D and there's an overwhelming chance you'll get justed. I don't even know what that means. That is, wind up with an Ethereum balance that is the equivalent of this haircut. And this just got a picture of a crazy looking dude. Oh, that's Brandon Fraser. Despite the near certainty of getting wrecked, really, I don't care how long I am in the crypto space. You will not hear me use terms like HODL, HODL, wrecked, REKT. These are the crypto nerd talk that they have with each other. But anyways, he used it. Despite the near certainty of getting wrecked, gamblers have been throwing their ether into FOMO3D and POW H3D, proof of weak hands, with wild abandon. The games, like most of the overt Ponzi schemes to have dominated the Ethereum network, found transaction on 4chan's Biz message board before going viral. 143,903 transactions. That's 134,660 Ethereum. We shattered blockchain records, with each of the pieces of our ecosystem genuinely beating the highest dApp traffic gains like this have seen on the blockchain in 24 hours. Individually boasted Team Just said, neat. The games that play on human greed. Here's another thing in the crypto space, and I say this all the time. Make sure anytime you invest anything that you're going to get a return on your investment as fast as possible. Don't get greedy. I've seen it happen many times. I told one person, I'm not going to name any names here. We were involved in something. I said flat out, this is not long term. This is going to end one day. I just don't know when. Get your return on investment back first and play with house money after it. This person chose not to listen to what I had to say and decided to keep playing the game and reinvesting and reinvesting and reinvesting and not pulling any profit out or nothing, and ended up losing over $100,000. The greed was massive. It was strong. Anyways, it says, the human greed, FOMO3D is an ironic jab at the cryptocurrency ICO space. Explain the game's developers putting every player in the terrifying and tempting position to exit scam everything and run away with massive life-changing amounts of real Ethereum. You should take it. The game runs entirely on human greed, to the profit of everyone playing. Players must purchase a key with Ether, If the 24-hour timer goes down to 0 without another player purchasing a key to reset it, the last key owner will win the pot. Oh, wow. That's straight up gambling there. At present, the jackpot stands at close to $10 million. Are you serious? This thing will never end. It will never end. With each subsequent key owner granted a chance, no matter how fleeting, of winning a life-changing amount of cryptocurrency, the temptation for speculators to keep acquiring keys has proven overwhelming. It is conceivable that the game might never go to 0. It won't. And become a permanent vortex that sucks up ether, reducing the total circulating supply until the end of the game. It is also conceivable that the rising value of the jackpot could ultimately tempt a mining pool into rejecting transactions to the FOMO 3D contract address in order to push through its own and claim the prize. I predict this is not going to end well. At all. This isn't going to end well. Let me give you if you don't understand what's going on here, let me break it down in layman's terms. Let's say there's a bucket in the middle of a courtyard, and everybody can have a chance to win all the money that's in that bucket. And so it's almost like a lottery almost, except it's the last person who puts money into the bucket will win it. So if you're doing that, and every time you put money into the bucket, you're given a ticket, and if the time goes to 0, and you were the last person to get a ticket, you earn all the contents of that bucket. But every time you get a ticket, the time resets. It might add an extra 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It will never go to 0. Which is going to lead it, this thing gets so big, it's going to get hacked. The owners will figure out how to disappear and run away with everybody's money. That's a big, huge trap. So, be careful. I don't play any of these DApp games. They're just apps on the distributed ledger on the blockchain. That's all what DApps mean. All right, let's look at the last article here. Hedge fund billionaire and Citadel founder Ken Griffin blasts Bitcoin. Oh, we got a hater. We got a hater alert. So let's see what this billionaire hater has to say. Ken Griffin. At the recent CNBC Institutional Investor Delivering Alpha Conference, Ken Griffin openly expressed his opinion against the digital assets. While Griffin's words may be turning a few heads, this is not the first time the billionaire spoke ill of cryptocurrency. Griffin has always been very clear in his dislike of Bitcoin. Back in December, when Bitcoin surpassed the $1,000 mark, Griffin said the coin fever was a bubble. Unlike many other voices, he believed Bitcoin was not a fraud, but the bubble would eventually end. At the time, Griffin admitted blockchain technology could eventually have a profound impact in the future world order. Since then, his opinion seemingly remains the same. Interviewed by business journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, Griffin let out his true thoughts on cryptocurrencies at Piers Hotel's ballroom in New York. Sorkin teased Griffin, asking him what was he saying to his portfolio managers who wanted to invest in cryptocurrencies. Griffin didn't hesitate, saying, "I don't have a single portfolio manager who has told me we should buy crypto. Not a single portfolio manager. You know what, Ken? You need to fire them then. And get you some who say you need to get some crypto." They're doing you a disservice. He goes on to state, says, you have to have US dollars to pay your taxes. You don't have a choice. No, you don't. Pay attention. Nevada and Georgia just said you can pay your taxes in crypto. Griffin believes cryptocurrencies cannot succeed because there's already a mandatory alternative in place, fiat currencies. Really? So you were the lucky one to survive 2008 unscathed. You're a freaking billionaire. You have no clue of what's going on the ground with the rest of the poor folk out in the world. You're living in a bubble, Ken. The people got screwed by fiat currency in 2008. Bitcoin is a revolt of the system. It's a revolt of people like you. In this sense, Citadel CEO thinks cryptocurrencies are a solution in search of a problem. Wrong. It's a solution to the problem, he said, stating, there is no need for cryptocurrencies. For you, maybe. Your companies got bailed out by the government when you screwed us all over. While these may be harsh words, he isn't far from the truth. Really? Currently, few people can subsist solely on cryptocurrencies. False. False again. Who wrote this freaking article? This is from CCN. It is not giving me an author. Let me go all the way to the end. Yeah, it's not giving me an author. This author doesn't even know what they're talking about. Oh, there we go. Mauro Sacramento. Mauro is a Portuguese crypto journalist in pursuit of his digital nomad dream. Although he graduated in script writing, he spent the past decade in corporate environments. That makes sense. Now that he's rediscovering what freedom feels like, he can't get enough of blockchain and its decentralization. Then how can he make a dumbass statement like this? Because that's false. You get yourself a BitPay card or any debit card, and you can live completely off of Bitcoin. Always question what you see and what you read. They're not always 100% accurate. I question everything. I don't care who this guy is and he's an author for writing about crypto. That doesn't mean he knows more than I do. Always question it. This is why crypto education is so important. Closing the interview, Griffin spoke to the millennials currently investing their money in cryptocurrencies. He advised them to invest in companies that will help advance society, create jobs, and grow the economy, rather than burying their funds in digital assets. And he cannot be further from the truth. Oh, Shayna, you calling it, huh? A debate between me and a crypto critic. Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it so much. I'd have to check myself, though. Make sure I don't, I got to remain calm, cool, collected, and a professional. Because I'll call you out in a minute on your BS. But I know how to do a professional slap in the face. I'd love to debate somebody who doesn't know, because I can really end it with one argument. You're trying to debate me on something you know nothing about. Because if you had a clear understanding of what this is, you wouldn't be saying some of the things you're saying right now. You're just ignorant, and that's okay. Ignorant doesn't mean you're stupid. Ignorant just means you lack information and knowledge, and my job is here to help you gain some more information and knowledge. So, you can listen to billionaires like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, or this Ken Griffin guy who is negative on anything that has to do with crypto because they don't understand it. Or you can listen to what Jack Ma has to say as the richest man in China when he says blockchain technology could change our world more than people could imagine. Or you can listen to Stanford University, who says blockchain massively lowers the barriers to creating tradable digital assets. It allows individuals who don't know each other or even trust one another to make irreversible transactions in a whole variety of fields in a safe and secure way. Or you can listen to the chairman of the CFTC, Rostin Binham, who said virtual currencies will become part of the economic practices of any country, anywhere. Let me repeat that. These currencies are not going away, and they will proliferate to every economy and every part of the planet. Some places, small economies, may become dependent on virtual assets for survival, and these currencies will be outside traditional monetary intermediaries like government, banks, investors, ministries, or international organizations. We are witnessing a technological revolution. Perhaps we are witnessing a modern miracle. Or you can listen to Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, who said, moreover, what we view as money has changed over time. Cowrie shells once were such a medium, but no longer are. Our currency originally included gold coins and bullion, but after 1934, gold could not be used as a medium of exchange. Perhaps one day employees will be paid in Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. So who are you going to listen to? These clown Bitcoin billionaire critics? Or other billionaires and people of authority who saying the complete opposite? Only one can be right. Choose. What side of history are you going to be on? And that is all for the information tonight. I hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. The reason why I do these crypto talks. And if you missed the one from earlier about where are the women at, how women can position themselves today to be earning 6 figures a year in crypto 1 year from now, I gave you a step-by-step exactly what to do. Now, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. It is up to you ladies to make something of it and take action. Most of you won't, but a few of you will, and that's would be good enough for me. I did my job. So with that, thank you guys for joining us tonight. I will be back tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk. Have a great evening. I'm back to watching my Shark Week. Last night seeing Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal in a cage with a shark was funny as hell. Tonight, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Rodgers, and who was it? Lindsay, somebody, Vaughn or something. I love Shark Week. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening. God bless. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.